The comparison with this product here and evercoat's Z-Grip and their base product, the regular Bondo, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that, what the advantages are real quick. So I was going to tell you guys, so I did this comparison, and there's another video on this that shows the comparison between the three, and of course it was live, so you don't always think of everything you're going to think of while that's going on. But here, of course, after I did a sample on everything, of course, look what I used on the rest of the car. I used Evercoat Gold because it is far superior to any of the other products. They have another product called Rage, which is supposed to be all the same, but you never know. You could try them both, and maybe it's even better. But I have doubts that it's worth really $50 a gallon. This one for $36 is just super amazing. Okay, so what's the advantages? Okay, if you use the cheaper product, you have to use a heavier grit sandpaper to cut, because what happens is with the other products, when you sand it, your sandpaper will not cut. A finer sandpaper won't cut into it. So what happens is it loses its shape. Wherever the Bondo is, or it mounds up and wants to mount. So you have to use a heavier grit sandpaper. Okay, that's number one. And why is that such a great thing if you can use a finer sandpaper? To get a straighter surface, you need to use a finer paper, because when you're using a coarse paper, it just doesn't shape as nicely. So you have to put more primer on, and you have to do more blocking to get the same result. So if you can get your bodywork to go on really nice, you can put less primer on it. And that's probably why a lot of guys that are using this stuff are using the urethane primer, because it is a little thinner than using the polyester. So you might even be able to get away with using urethane. I would still say to use polyester primer on a restoration, because you're going over a lot of bad stuff, and you really want to get that get a nice surface on there. And polyester primer does have a much straighter surface. It cuts better than the other primers do. The other ones want to follow the waves where the polyester won't. So this is the same concept as that, but with Bondo. This stuff wants to stay with the shape that your sander is going in, instead of mounding up and going over places where you don't want it to go. So it goes on smoother. Of course, I got a lot of junk in this last coat, but you can always knock it down with 60 or whatever first, just to kind of knock off all that stuff, and then hit it with a finer paper anytime during the time. It does sand, I'd say 30% faster than the other products. Then even Z-Grip does sand, I'd say 20% faster than the base product, but the Gold does sand even faster than the Z-Grip did, and the paper didn't load up quite as fast. So it's going to save you on sandpaper. It's going to save you on primer. If you've never tried it, I used to be like, Bondo is Bondo, and I've tried, years ago I tried stuff. They said, oh, we tried this product, it works way better, and I use it and stuff, and I go, okay, well, I guess it does, but I didn't really notice a huge difference like this product. So you know what, if you're doing bodywork a lot, or you're doing a big restoration car, just try it. Give it a $36, give it a shot and see if you've done enough bodywork. You'll really notice a difference. If you've never done bodywork before, you won't really know what you're missing, but you'll notice that your body work comes out a little bit nicer by using this product. So, I like I said, I was a Bondo is Bondo is Bondo. It doesn't, or plastic is plastic is plastic. Almost all of them used to be the same. Um, some people say, well, you could use the other products and add honey to it and get it to work like this. I've done that. It does not work like this. It's not the same. I'm telling you, you got to spend the money and try it, and then you'll see, and you'll reply on my video after doing that. You'll be like, oh my God, thank you so much, because it saved me many man hours, and you'll really see the difference. If you use honey, the problem with using honey and adding it to regular Bondo, it doesn't have the same texture that this does. This has got a finer grind. The when they put this in the vats, they must use a finer compound in it, because it's not quite, it's almost like using polyester glazing, but it actually sands easier than polyester glazing. So if you've used polyester glazing and you've used Bondo and you go, wow, it comes out better when I use polyester glazing over the Bondo, then you'll realize that this is a huge shortcut. This will save you a lot of time. You could probably do your body work in almost half the time you do right now. So I'm looking forward to using this stuff more, and I'm really excited about, I spent a lot of money, $100 on Bondo, to try and see if it really did work on all these different ones. And I think now I'm just going to stick with this. I might buy the other stuff. Like, how you could use the other stuff and benefit is, you could have, if you had really deep fills, or something where you couldn't get to the backside of it and you just couldn't get it straight enough, or maybe you had a line that you were trying to bring back, you could put the other stuff on, and just take your polisher with 40 grit and just knock it off, and whatever low fills there is there, and then just throw a coat of this over it, and use this as a finish, and you will really enjoy it. You'll save a lot of time. Sanding is the worst part about doing body work. Okay. All right. So anyway, that's my thing about the evercoat Rage. If you're using Rage, try the gold maybe, and then tell me, hey, if the Rage works really way better, then tell me. I'd like to hear about that. If you're using something else and you've never tried gold, give it a shot, and then tell the other viewers, so that they know what it's like and if it's worth it to them. And I can tell you right now, because I've done enough of it, I really know the difference. It's definitely worth the money. All right. Talk to you on the next video.